Red Skull, you're looking particularly red today. Though I suppose that's just your natural complexion now. All those years experimenting with super soldier serums and cosmic cubes, and this is what you achieved? A face that frightens children, and a voice that sounds like you've been gargling gravel. At least when Aku transformed me, I kept my dignity intact.
Jack, the timeless samurai, still carrying that same sword like a security blanket after 50 years of failure. How refreshing to meet someone whose fashion sense is even more outdated than their combat techniques. Does swinging that antique around help you cope with the fact that you've accomplished absolutely nothing in 5 decades of wandering through time like a lost tourist?
My sword has protected countless lives, while your schemes have only destroyed them. You speak of accomplishment, but what have you truly built? Armies that turned against you, followers who betrayed you, empires that crumbled the moment you showed weakness. Even your greatest victory required stealing other men's work and calling it your own. Genius.
I built order from chaos, strength from weakness, purpose from the meaningless wandering that defines your existence. My followers understood discipline and hierarchy, concepts foreign to someone who spent decades talking to himself in empty wastelands. At least my empire had structure. Your resistance movements fall apart the moment you leave, because you never learned how to actually lead.
Your structure was built on terror and collapsed because terror cannot sustain itself forever. I have fought alongside rebels, farmers, ordinary people who risked everything because they believed in something greater than themselves. Even your own generals plotted against you because they saw what you really were. A madman drunk on power.
Terror serves its purpose when applied correctly. My generals plotted because they lacked vision to see beyond immediate circumstances. Your rebels fought because they were too ignorant to understand the benefits of organized society. Chaos feels like freedom to those too primitive to appreciate the beauty of coordinated effort and shared objectives.
Shared objectives like genocide and conquest? Your coordination required eliminating anyone who thought differently than you did. I have seen what you call organized society. Neighbors informing on neighbors, children turning against parents, scientists conducting experiments on helpless prisoners. Where is the beauty in systematized cruelty?
Beauty lies in efficiency, in the elimination of waste and disorder. My scientists advanced knowledge through practical research, while your sentimental attachment to individual suffering prevented any meaningful progress. Every great advancement requires sacrifice from those too weak to contribute meaningfully to the greater design.
Sacrifice chosen willingly is noble. Sacrifice forced upon others is murder. Your research served no purpose except satisfying your appetite for causing pain. I have met true scientists who used their knowledge to heal and build. Your experiments had no goal except demonstrating your power over helpless victims.
Power demonstrates itself through successful application against opposition. My experiments gathered valuable data about human limitations and potential improvements to physical performance. Your healing scientists accomplished nothing except prolonging inferior lives that would have been better ended quickly and efficiently for everyone's benefit.
Better ended according to whose judgment? You appointed yourself the arbiter of who deserved to live based on arbitrary standards you created to justify your hatred. Every person you eliminated had value you were too blind to see. Even the smallest contribution matters more than all your grand schemes combined.
Value must be measured objectively through performance and potential, not through sentimental attachment to mediocrity. My standards were based on scientific observation of genetic quality, intellectual capacity, and physical capability. Your emotional decision-making ignores mathematical reality about resource allocation and population management.
Mathematical reality that somehow required gas chambers and mass graves? You reduced living beings to numbers on charts because numbers are easier to eliminate than faces with names and stories. Your science was corrupted by your hatred from the very beginning, serving predetermined conclusions rather than seeking actual truth.
Truth requires abandoning comfortable illusions about individual worth and accepting harsh realities about natural selection. My methods accelerated evolutionary processes that would have occurred naturally over longer periods. Efficiency saves time and resources while achieving identical outcomes through more direct means.
Natural selection does not require building death camps or conducting torture experiments. You perverted every decent impulse and called it progress. Evolution includes cooperation, protection of the young and weak, sacrifice for others' survival. You selected only the cruelest aspects, while ignoring everything that makes existence worthwhile.
Existence needs no justification beyond efficiency and productivity. Your worthwhile existence produced nothing except decades of failure and self-delusion. I created systems that functioned according to rational principles rather than emotional preferences. Order through strength, progress through selection, advancement through elimination of obstacles.
Order through strength that collapsed the moment your strength failed. Progress through selection that selected nothing except victims for your sadism. Advancement through elimination that eliminated the very qualities that make advancement possible. You destroyed everything valuable while preserving only what served your vanity.
My systems collapsed due to external interference, not internal flaws. Selection removed weaknesses that prevented optimal performance. Elimination cleared obstacles to advancement that your protection would have preserved indefinitely. Vanity is clinging to outdated moral codes, while reality demands practical solutions.
Practical solutions like losing every war you started, like creating enemies faster than you could eliminate them, like turning your own people against you through sheer brutality? Your reality was shaped by paranoia and hatred, not practical thinking. Even your closest allies abandon you when they realized what you'd become.
Allies abandon leaders when they lack commitment to necessary sacrifices. War requires decisive action that sentimental people cannot stomach. My people turned against me because they were corrupted by weakness, not because my methods were flawed. Strength demands strength in return, which most lack.
Appreciate strength demands respect, which you never earned because you confused fear with loyalty. Your decisive actions led straight to bunkers and suicide pills when reality finally broke through your delusions. Even at the end, you blamed everyone except yourself for the catastrophe you created.
Catastrophe created by external forces that opposed necessary improvements to social organization. My leadership provided clear direction and measurable results. Suicide represented final victory over enemies who sought to corrupt my vision through capture and humiliation. Death before dishonor. A concept you should understand.
And there lies the truth you've spent this entire conversation avoiding. You're not a visionary, or a leader, or even a successful villain. You're just a coward who built elaborate justifications for being afraid of everything different from yourself. Your whole empire was just one terrified man's attempt to remake the world into something small enough for his damaged mind to comprehend. That's not strength. That's the most pathetic weakness of all.